Okay, you probably saw it. It happened on the Oscars. You might even think it's old news by now, but Will Smith slapped Chris Rock across the face for a joke about his wife. Now, was that justified? Was that acceptable in any way? I'm going to give you a relationship expert's reaction to what is happening here with Will Smith and his crumbling marriage, because you need to know what this really means. First off, this was big news when it happened, which is why I didn't jump on the bandwagon. I'm not here to hijack the news. I'm here to give you advice that can help you get the relationship you want. And to be honest, any attempt to use Hollywood celebrities as your model for relationships is probably going to fail. What I mean by that is we all know that celebrities do not represent reality, but they can provide us with great examples we can learn from, and that's something you should do with this kind of incident. Now, I'm trained as a therapist, and I look at these situations and I break them down as if I had this person as my client. Then I break them down in ways that can help you. My wife and I have observed Will Smith's crumbling marriage for several years now. Perhaps you even saw some of the cringy videos of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith talking about her affair. Now, I'm going to warn you, if you watch some of these videos, be prepared to really cringe, because it's bad. Jada is obviously not caring very much how much harm she's caused Will over the years. Will Smith looks pained, and you can read his body language and his behavior. He's seething inside. He's in pain and he needs healing. So what happened? The rough outline is this. In the summer of 2020, singer August Alsina, who's 29, revealed that he had previously had an affair with Jada Pinkett Smith, which the couple had confirmed when they appeared together on her show, Red Table Talk, I guess. I don't watch these shows, but in a new interview with GQ, Will Smith admitted that while their romance was initially monogamous, they eventually opened up their marriage upon realizing that they were both miserable. What does that mean? And clearly had something to change. This followed an argument on Jada Pinkett Smith's 40th birthday. I guess it's like 10 years ago. And clearly something had to change following that argument. Apparently, they have had troubles in all aspects of the relationship for a long time. Jada didn't want a traditional marriage, and Will simply wanted to move forward with his own desires. Now they, again, both talked about having this open marriage. This all came to a head during the Oscars. That's right. Chris Rock, he was hosting it, and he made a joke about Jada's bald head because she's dealing with alopecia. It's an immune disorder that causes hair loss. Now, Will Smith, this infuriated Will Smith in a way that seemed out of proportion. He storms up to the stage after screaming at Chris Rock for his joke. So here comes the first question. Is it okay to joke about her situation? Some people might say that it is, because as actors and Hollywood celebrities, they don't have as much rights as other people. They don't have their right to be private. Others think that they should have that right. I've never really subscribed to any of those ideas. For some people, they would say that anything is fair play for jokes on television. Honestly, it wasn't that bad of a joke. Could it have been too cruel? Possibly. Was Chris Rock being insensitive? Possibly. Did Chris cross a line? Maybe. Whatever you feel. Well, Will definitely thought it was way too much. And that's when things went too far. Hey, would you like to ask me a question? Would you like to get some genuine advice from a dating and relationship expert? I'd love to help you out. Go to the link you see below me here and just ask me a question. I can answer every one of them, but I might answer yours. And eventually, I use all the questions from my videos on YouTube for my podcasts and articles. So go get your relationship or dating question answered now. So, Will walks up and slaps Chris Rock across the face. The first time I saw this, I thought he had punched him, but it's obvious, it's just a slap. And to his credit, Chris retains most of his composure. If you watch this, the uncensored raw version of the video, there's this stunned silence in the audience at this event. They're like, what's going on here? And what is going on? Was it justified? Will looked at this from the perspective, let's look at it from the perspective of masculinity and Will Smith's behavior. First of all, Will actually chuckled at the joke at first, but then he saw that Jada didn't like it, and that's when he reacted. There was this time in our past when the man was expected to protect the honor of his woman. If a man insulted your wife in some way, you would stand up for it. But let's be real. It's the 21st century. It's hard enough to find a man who knows what a man is, much less acts like one. So while you may be tempted to condone what Will Smith did on the basis of him being a man for his reaction there and how he handled it, the expectation would be to take a joke on the Oscars with gritted teeth and composure. He should just sat there and gone, ha ha ha, very funny. Especially because we all know that the Oscar winners have some knowledge that they're winning, or that they've at least been nominated so they could stand a chance to win. Is that the kind of behavior we want? I mean, my family and I had just watched, literally 2 days before this, we had just watched I, Robot, one of his action movies. So what are we to make of this event? Here's my interpretation. Will Smith is a very pained and hurt man. You can see from many of the videos and interviews with him that he is clearly distressed about his relationship with Jada. He loves her quite a bit, and you can tell it's almost too much. Clearly, they do not have the same kind of openness in their communication that they profess to have in the openness of their sexual relationships. Yeah? Yes, that's true that they claim to have an open relationship on some level, but you wouldn't know it looking at how Will handles the relationship, right? Clearly, this is more of a one-sided relationship. If you ask me, Jada has him wrapped around her finger. Yeah, they may love each other and have a relationship, but they are not sincere and they're not handling communication very well. Nothing new for Hollywood, right? The unfortunate part here is that they have to expose this to the world. They have to expose their lack of communication and their problems to the world through their celebrity relationship. I mean, Jada had an affair of her own. Based on the way she's presented it, to me that's a symbolic interpretation of what happened at the Oscars. Will went up and channeled his anger at his wife towards Chris Rock. So really, Will slapped Chris the way he wished he could have slapped Jada. Is that shocking? It should shock you a little bit, but that kind of anger is under the surface of every person out there when they're not getting what they need in their relationship. It's an uncomfortable thing for Will Smith to handle, but that's what he needs to do now. He needs to face the facts that that's what he was really doing. The next thing is that he should, well, Will should, probably take some time away from Hollywood to heal himself. Because after Will slapped Chris, Denzel Washington even gave him advice, something to the effect of being careful when you're at your peak, because that's when the devil comes to get you. Now, if there's somebody in Hollywood you can respect and is a real man, it's probably Denzel Washington. Hey, if you like these tips, go on, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You can get these videos every week. You'll know exactly when they come out, and you'll be the first one to see them hot off the press. Go ahead, subscribe now. When all is said and done, what we're left with here is a very shocking and polarizing incident. I've never been a huge fan of the Oscars. It's pretty obvious that they only serve themselves. It's not about being the best actor of the best movie. It's about rewarding the people who bring in the money for Hollywood. Hey, what else would you expect? I'm not arguing with that, but when Will crossed this line, when Will Smith crossed this line, he took away a certain amount of innocence from that Oscar thing. Some people said that he should have been escorted from the building for assault, and instead he was given an award. In fact, if he wasn't about to win the Oscar, and if it wouldn't create such a shocking disturbance, I would agree, he probably should have been taken out. But we can see that that would have been the least likely way that this situation would have ended. Will got to go up on stage, make a speech where he defended his actions instead of apologizing for his lack of decision-making and his lack of self-control. For you women out there looking at men in terms of masculinity and appropriateness of the relationship, the best thing you can learn is this: create a connection with your man. Don't keep secrets from him the way Jada does. Don't put your relationship in the public eye. And if you have a man that is disguising a slightly violent edge under the guise of maybe sticking up for you and, you know, the old school chivalry, beware. This wasn't acceptable behavior from a man, okay? What Will Smith is not cool, period. Will Smith should have kept his composure and had words with Chris later on. Regardless of how he felt about it, they were only words, right? Striking a guy for a joke is not acceptable. Unfortunately, our culture and society is starting to lean in more towards this kind of behavior as being acceptable. If you don't like something, you can hit them. If you don't like words, you can fight them. That's not right, people. When it comes to relationships, open relationships don't even work the way people think they do. Polyamory is almost always a cheap excuse for indulging in your own inability to really work on the one relationship you have. Human beings are not built to have multiple intimate relationships, not at the same time anyways, consecutively, but not at the same time. We don't work like that. Hollywood celebrities sure as hell don't work like that. So beware any kind of message that tells you that. Now, I hope Will Smith gets the help he needs, and I applaud Chris Rock most for his composure and professionalism in handling the incident. I think it was amazing. And whether or not the media or other people agree with me, I could care less. But you might ask yourself, how did Jada make Will Smith so infatuated with her that she could just give a look and he would step up to the stage like that and hit somebody? How did she control him? Because she does. She controls him. You know what, if you'd like to know these kinds of things, these truths about relationships, not to make guys do quite that kind of behavior, but to actually step up and be a man in your relationship. Look, we all become very distracted from how a relationship should develop, right? What should you have in a healthy relationship so that you don't end up like that? How do you get a man to commit to a relationship? How do you get a guy who is emotionally so into it that he would do that for you? You want to know how? Go here. Go to datingfire.com/obsession. For a limited time, you can even get my Understanding Men program. I kind of call this my encyclopedia of men for free at that page. Go check it out now. datingfire.com/obsession. And if you want more of this topic, go on over to datingfire.com, click on the article to get what I couldn't fit in the video. And if you're new here, or even if you're not, just do the big three real quick before you run away. Hey, don't go anywhere. I got more videos for you. Like and subscribe. Get this stuff every week. I know for a fact that most people watching these videos aren't even subscribed, so do that right now. Number 2, turn on notifications. Click that bell icon so you get notified when I release the next video coming next week. And if you're already subscribed, please share the videos with as many women as you can. Let everybody know about Carlos. And number 3, make sure you comment below. Did you agree with what I said about Will? Is there some other video you want? Leave me a comment below if you want a part 2 or even some other analysis from your dating advice guru. I read the comments and I try to respond to as many as I can. Hang on a few more seconds. I'm going to put a recommended video right here in the corner for you to click. Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo. As always, live and love with passion.